Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is hard to believe it's September already. For this week's video, I'd like to do a review of Julie's new e-bike. This is the Specialized Turbo Vado 4.0, and she's had it for several months now, and she just crossed over the 500 mile point. We've had it long enough that I think it's time to do a review. Before I decided to put this video together, I went out on YouTube and did a search just to see how many other reviews were already out there, and there's lots of them. And I came across one from Sam Gross with Electric Bike Review, and it is really a good and thorough review of this bike. And it's so well done, and I agree with most of it. There's no sense duplicating what they've already done. So I'll put a link down below with that particular video.
And I have to say, the hype that is around these things is very, very real. They are incredibly well-designed and well-functioning e-bikes, and it arguably is one of the best electric commuters I've ever personally ridden. It's really, really impressive.
Well, this bike and Julie's previous bike are very similar in design, and as mid-drive bikes, their performance is pretty similar. You know, Julie, she'll ride gravel, and this bike certainly can ride gravel, but she doesn't really like to do much of the really single-track or off-trail stuff, and I think that the Cannondale Tesoro Neo is probably a little bit better bike for that. Mainly because of the gearing, and also I think the suspension is a little better. Now, of course, in her case, this frame size just fits her better, and on the Cannondale, that was the smallest frame they make, and it just felt too big for her. I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that it had 29-inch tires. It just feels like a much more giant bike than this one does. So what I'd like to do is just take the opportunity to show you some of the interesting things about this Specialized bike and how it compares to the Bosch. The electronic display and control system on this Specialized Turbo Vado bike is a lot more sophisticated than what we have on our other two e-bikes, which are the basic Bosch Piron displays. And it's been kind of fun comparing the two, but this one is just hands above better in many, many respects. Over here on the left, you have a control button, the pluses and the minuses, raise and lower the levels of assist. And there's also this function button, and you'll notice on the display here there's just a lot more information that's being displayed. But if you cycle through this function button, it changes the screens, and there's just all kinds of metrics, everything from cadence to your distance to how much actual percentage there is in the battery, what your estimated range is, all kinds of timer information, altitude, just all kinds of different parameters. And with the Bosch Piron display, you're pretty limited. You don't have very much. I was a little bit concerned initially that with this kind of a display that you wouldn't be able to see it in bright sunlight, but we have not experienced any problems reading this with sunglasses out in the bright sunshine. Another thing that's really nice about this is it's got a USB port on the side, which actually provides power. You should be able to plug your phone right into this, and you could get some power off of your battery if you needed to in an emergency. In just their basic mode, they have essentially 3 levels of assist. You can see Eco, you can see Sport, and you can see Turbo, and of course Off. It gives you 3 levels of assist, and with the Bosch Piron display, you have 4 levels of assist. That may seem like a little bit of a limitation, but Specialized actually threw in another feature. If you press the F2 button, which is actually on the underside of this, it puts it into what they call the micro or fine tuning mode. And you can actually change the level of assist in 10% increments. You can see it goes from 100% all the way down to 10%. And that's really nice. And this is the mode that Julie uses. She doesn't even use the 3 assist modes. And she tells me that this is really nice because she can, sometimes on your e-bike, the assist either seems too little or too much. And with this, you can just dial it right in. This center triangle here is a cadence indicator, and that tells you how fast you're pedaling. And it's green when you're in the zone, and it changes colors when you're either pedaling too fast or too slow. And of course, one of the features I really like on this is the battery indicator here. Here you can see that the state of charge right now is 77%. And over on the Bosch Piron display, they don't give you the battery charge state in percentage. They have a battery charge indicators, and it's segmented off in 20% increments. So from 0% to 20%, it shows the same amount of charge, or from 80% to 100%, the same amount of charge. So if you're starting to run out of battery and you're down to that very last bar, You don't really know whether you have 19% left in the battery or 2% left in the battery. There's a big difference. Now, Specialized has an app that's on both for Android and iOS. It's called Mission Control, and it connects to your bike through Bluetooth, and it gives you a lot of amazing features. There's more in this whole app and the things that you can do with it than I want to explain in this video. One of the features is this tuning mode, and you can actually change these. You can change how much the support in this particular level is if you'd like to change it to 50%, or maybe you want to reduce it back. Let's take that back to 10%. And you could essentially set that and it would be set on your bike. Here you can see the customize the display, and each of these represents the 4 different levels of the screen, and you can go in and you can change all these parameters. Lots of different things that you can. Here's, for example, the 4th screen, rider power, motor power, power ratio, and you can select on one of these, and there's a whole laundry list of different things that you can put on here. So if you want to see any of these metrics on your display, you can essentially just change that, and then it communicates with your bike, and done is done. This is the first Specialized brand bike that we have owned, and I must say we are impressed. Julie is very happy with her choice. I have inherited her Cannondale Tesoro Neo X1, and it's a great bike as well. As I mentioned earlier, I prefer the Cannondale for off-road riding, mainly because of the lower gearing, the slightly better front suspension, and of course the 29-inch tires. On the other hand, the Specialized Turbo Vado bike has the edge when it comes to pavement. It seems like the e-bike portion on the Specialized bike is just a bit more refined than the Bosch Puron system. Of course, it's a tweaker's delight, and the fine-tuning options for power and display seem like several generations above the Bosch Puron system. They're both quality bikes with a price to match, and I don't think you can go wrong with either one. You're going to be grinning from ear to ear no matter which one you pick. Well, that's about it for this video, and I'll close it out with a short montage of some of our rides we have taken this summer. So until next time, be safe, be kind, and pray for peace.